Yeah, and then it just automatically saves it, and I don't have to content of this meeting is sent to a third party. Got it. And then I don't have to like re-upload the recording. It's just already there, and people who want to, you guys can come back to the recording later and watch it. Just automatically saves it, and I don't have to hang on. Let me content of this meeting mute myself. We're watching it live. Okay. Wow. I'm deep in the matrix, y'all. Deep in the matrix. Okay, cool. Well, let's get started. First of all, thank you guys for being here. It means the world to me that you want to be involved in this. I'm so excited. I've never done this before, and so it's going to be a learning experience for all of us. I'm so excited to hear everybody's tracks and the difference in styles and you never know this we might have an original and then a remix pack release. There's so many possibilities with this, which is why it's so exciting. But I wanted to start out and just talk a little bit about my own personal process since we're going to be collaborators. And everybody's collaboration process is different, right? And there's things that might be important to you that, aren't really on my radar and vice versa. So I always say this, when you have a release with somebody, that's a very personal connection. You're tied to that person for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not, right?
Right.
So that's why I was like, I'm doing this with family. Like this got to be family. So I'm really happy that we're doing it the way that we're doing it. It took me a while to set this up because I had to set up something that I could manage myself without having a huge team. And I'm really happy with how everything is set up. It's very manageable for me, the way that I can listen to uploads. You're more than welcome to do a more than one version. You're not bound to do only one idea. A lot of times when I work on a record, that record will see like five different versions, until I find like what's the best for the song. And I always try to do what's best for the song, right? You know, um, a lot of times you might do a lot of times you might do a production and it sounds cool, but it sounds like a remix. You know what I mean? And with this first version, the original version, when you talk about an original mix, it's got to feel like a song. It's got to feel like an original, like something special, something, you know, um, I mean, remixes are special too, but you know what I mean? Some things just sound like remixes, and then some things sound like that's the song, like that's how it was supposed to be made. I don't because I'm a singer first, and I've worked with so many different DJs, different styles. I have sort of have the luxury of being an artist that can do any style because I've already done it. I've done dubstep, I've done big room, I've done main stage, I've done tech house, I've done deep house. There's really not, I've done techno. There's not a whole lot of genres that you could call out that I haven't done. So that leaves it wide open, and I think the most important thing about this for me, because I really wanted to do this, I'm very passionate about helping the producer community. It's like one of the things that's like very, very close to my heart. And as much as I enjoyed this process and doing this, this is for you guys. This is for you. Like, I want to help people. That's why I started making music in the first place. And so I don't ever want you to feel like you have to, produce a certain way for this collab. what I care most about is that what you're making is true to who you are as an artist. And if I hear that, it's going to connect. It's going to connect. If what you're making is really authentic. So I got a lot of texts and DMs. That's why I'm starting here, because I got a lot of DMs from people saying, "Oh, what subgenre?" And I'm like, that's not for me. That's not my question. Like that you got to do you and what feels natural and authentic and genuine to you. So that's mostly, what I care about when you guys dive into this. Personally, when I'm collabing and working on the record, I really care about two things. I care about emotion. It's the first thing I think about, It's the first thing I care about with the song, any song, even a song that's meant to be funny. Emotion isn't just sad. It's anything that feels, you know. And so emotion is the one thing that pulls me in. The second thing is groove. Those are the two things that I care most about when I'm making records. And that's a very personal thing. You might have, two or three other things. And as I'm saying this, like start to think about as a producer or as a record maker, what do I care about? Like what's most important to me? Those are just mine. So if I hear something that feels emotional, I mean, this is one of those kind of records. You guys heard the vocal. Like it's a very it like could pull on somebody's heartstrings. When I originally wrote it, I imagined myself at the end of a music festival. When you've been going hard in the paint for a couple of days, 3 days, you're at the last set, the sun is rising, and you don't want to go home, you don't want to leave, you're too high to sleep. It's 6 a.m., but you can't sleep. And I don't mean high on drugs, I mean high on the experience in the festival, in the music and the artists that you've been so inspired by. And so Final Destiny started from that thought. A lot of times when I make records now, not when I first started, but now, I make records for my shows. I'm always thinking about, ooh, what do I need that I don't have as a DJ? What do I need that I don't have? Or as a singer, I don't have a ballad moment in my show where I can just get out and play the piano. I mean, I could incorporate it, but I'm just giving an example. Like, oh, I want to add in a ballad moment as a singer, and then as a DJ, I might have a thought of like, I want to go on like a tear of just really dark, groovy, very minimal, and I don't have anything like that. But I'm inspired by a lot of other records in that area. I'll go to my record box and I'll look at what I've been playing the last few shows, and I'm thinking, what do I need? So for me right now, that answer is I would love to have, I would love to have more main stage, big room type records, because I feel like first of all, that's where I started. So that makes a lot of sense for me. But also, it's been long enough that it's starting to come back. Like I think it's so funny how we just rebranded Big Room as Main Stage. Like, did anybody notice that? Like, Big Room just went away as like a bad word, and then here we are with Main Stage. It's the same thing, and I miss those kind of records. I feel like a lot of people miss those kind of records. I miss the feeling that Avicii records used to give me. like the tingles and the like ethereal feeling. When I saw Porter play Language for New Year's, I just posted it on my story. It gave me chills. Yeah. And so I love those are my favorite kind of records to make because they're so impactful. They're so impactful. And so I want to talk a little bit about what creates emotion in a song, right? What makes something like feel? What makes somebody cry when they hear a record or like feel something really deep? And from a production standpoint, a lot of times that's chords. When you have some really beautiful, amazing chords, and then you put the right vocal on top of that, it's just like, oh, that's a song, you know? So these are all just kind of things that I look for, when I'm making music and when I'm collaborating with people. I produce as well. I'm sure you guys know this from my last few releases. So don't feel like if, a lot of times we have an idea that it feels like it's difficult to finish. Like finishing is the hardest part. Finishing is like the last thing you learn to do as a producer. Once you get to the point where you can finish really fast, you're off to the races. Like you got it, but finishing is very, very difficult for developing producers. It's hard. I know. I was there like a year or two ago. I couldn't finish anything. And it was so frustrating. Like I could have put it out, but I was just like, it's not, you know, I just knew it wasn't ready. And so if you are there in your development process, I want you to know that's okay. That's perfect. You don't have to send me a demo that's mixed and mastered and ready to go. Like that's what I do. Like we have a whole team of people that can finish records, including myself. So it's like that's why this is such a cool opportunity too, because it allows producers at any level. If you send in a record that's mixed and mastered and ready to go, amazing. Amazing. That's great. If I love it, if it feels like a song, perfect. But if something comes in and feels really unique and special but it's still a little rough around the edges, we can finish it. We can work on it together. We can finish it. So I don't want you to ever hesitate to submit something because it's just an idea. you know you can submit 5 ideas. You can submit 3 ideas that you spend a little bit of time on each one. In my experience, the magic of a record comes in like the first 45 minutes to an hour, when you hit your stride, when you hit your inspiration, like whenever you get that moment where you're like, oh, I know what I want to do. That the faster you can capitalize on that inspiration, the better it is. Don't get boggled down in technical stuff. Let that shit go. Like flow, get into a flow state where you can really lock into that inspiration and just make an idea. So those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about from a creative standpoint. um Now I want to talk about the business side of collaboration because that's really important as well. And I think that it's not talked about enough. I think, having honest conversations about music business is not common enough. And it's very important, and the way that you speak about business is very important. Somebody lost a record from me last week because the way that they were just the feeling behind it it's important to learn how to talk to people and how to be fair and approach things in the right way. So with most of the things that I do, when it's an equal collaboration, we just go 50-50 on everything. It's simple, you know. If there are 3 people involved and everybody's pulling equal weight, 33, 33, 33. You know, it's like that's just easy and fair. So that's how I want to do this. That's how I want to do this collab. So, you know, the songwriting, publishing side, whoever secures the original mix, that'll be 50-50 publishing for songwriting. And then that'll be 50-50 on the master. And then obviously, if we shop to a label, my label usually takes 50 to 60% if I release through my label. But, you know, most dance labels will take 70%. That's pretty standard. Like they'll take 70, they'll give the artist 30. And what they're supposed to do is market the record. That's what their 70% is supposed to be for, is marketing the record. Now, it doesn't always go like that, I could tell you. Um, I tend to not do a lot of label deals because I've done them in the past, and um you know, I've had a lot of experiences that weren't the best, but I'm not closed to labels. I'm not closed to it, especially if a label has a cultural following. You get what I mean? Like a label who's really built out their own audience, there's a lot of value in that. You know, you're able to reach somebody else's audience in a way that you wouldn't have been able to reach on your own. Now you got to give up a lot to do that, but that's how a lot of people build their careers. You know, they have enough releases on enough labels and then they start their own label and, you know, off to the races. But I'm not close to any situation. I'm not close to anything. So yeah, now I don't really have anything more to say. The deadline for submissions is January 31st. So you have about a month to work on the record and submit. I'm hoping to choose a winner in the top 5 um by my birthday. My birthday is February 2nd. So I would love to announce this on my birthday. I think that would be sick. So yeah, I would love to announce it. I don't see any problems getting a label to pick this up just because of the story. Like you know, like this is cool, y'all. It's cool. It's a vibe. Like nobody's ever, not that I know of. I don't know of a singer, songwriter who's done this, at least not in the dance space. You know, offered up a collab, and I'm so excited and grateful to have you guys here. Uh, Now I guess I'll open it up to any questions. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I do. Only to say that I probably won't have any real questions until I actually get started, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But if
Yeah.
throughout the process, and I know you did mention that if we have a few ideas, you know, 1 idea or 3 ideas, you'll accept the submissions for, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the multi variety. But throughout the process, what would be the best way to approach you for a question that we might have along the way or something? Just a DM or
You could DM me. You could DM me. Sometimes my DMs get a little overwhelming
yeah, I
sometimes.
can imagine.
So it might take me sometimes it could take me a little while. I'm usually pretty on it though.
Yeah.
Like usually I'll get back to you in a few hours. Um But yeah, DMing me on Instagram is probably the best way if you just have a brief question.
Yeah.
If you have an idea that's done, just upload it,
Okay.
and then I'll take a listen to it. And if I have any comments or if I say like that's a really dope direction, I'm the way that I set it up is so sick. So I listen to the records right in the inbox. So I don't even have to open anything and I can play the record. I can say thumbs up, thumbs down, or I can give more detailed feedback.
Okay.
So
Nice.
if I really feel like there's magic in an idea, then I'll respond and I'll say either this is really dope, let's go, or this is dope, but I think that the build
Hmm.
the build needs to move more, or the arrangement is off.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I can kind of help guide the process a bit too, like if you're a newer producer. um I'm open to all of that. Like I said, the reason that I'm doing any of this is because I have such a passion for development. It's my favorite thing to do. Like my whole career is based on me finding like gems of artists, and being like, "Oh, there's something there." And then you give them a record and they blow up and it's like the coolest experience. It's like the coolest feeling to watch that. And so I'm here. I'm here for you guys. So send me any questions. Um, I can't wait to hear, what you guys are working on.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course. Anybody else?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are
No, I
you,
just
Pablo?
hi. I just wanted to say that what you said earlier about the main stage sound and the rebranding of Big Room is so
Yeah.
true. And
Yeah.
the first actually time that I learned about you was like probably 11 years ago when
Ooh.
Hardwell and Diary released Never Say Goodbye.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
that was
yeah.
like electrifying. Like for me, like the vocals were like the vocals were like the whole song. Yeah, it
Oh,
was main
thank
stage,
you.
yeah, it was big room, yeah, but the vocals was everything because you can put those records are very powerful, but if you put the
Mm,
right vocal on them, they go to the moon, it's like
it's
it's like
true.
crazy. It's
But
crazy.
it goes both ways.
I know.
I've also heard like amazing vocals, but the
Yeah,
track
yeah,
wasn't all the way there,
right.
so it
Yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
go.
But
But when you have both together,
yes, it's magic. And
yeah.
what you said that you're looking for the emotion, I think this is everything. Like the emotion is everything. Like it
It
can be
is.
just yes, it can be just the piano, some chords and the vocal, or it can be a full like blown like a main stage thing. But
Hmm.
still, the chords will be there, the build-up will be there, and your vocal, I mean, what you did with Final Destiny is like amazing. It brings back, all that exactly what you said like you
Yeah.
miss it, you miss it, then it's time to bring back something, but it's gonna be updated, but it's gonna be amazing. It's
Dude,
gonna
I
have the
had I had such a hard time
yeah.
picking which acapella, right? Because I have so many I could have chose from.
Yes,
And I just gravitated to this one because it felt like that old classic,
it,
you
it's
know?
it's so needed. It's so
Yeah.
needed.
Hmm.
Like music today is like so different, and this kind of original like ideas, and especially with your voice. Your voice is like unique. When you hear it, you know who it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's exactly what's missing, and it's a great thing that you like open it up to people like us, and give us the opportunity to just produce something and do it with you. And you're so
Yeah,
cool, you're so open.
absolutely.
It's like
It's fun. I'm a people person. I like connecting with humans.
that's
It's
so
one
great.
it's one of the reasons that, I sort of like left my career as a songwriter, because as a songwriter, you're so far in the back that
Yeah,
you never get to meet the people that are impacted by your music. You never meet those people. you
Like,
know, and I'm such a people person. I'm like, I need to talk to the people that, you know, my music has touched and healed or helped in some way.
I can tell you of many people that have, you know, been crying, you know, listening to your songs, and I know personally this.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of them is me too. But you know, it's, you know, everybody has his own story. So for me,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
I came from Greece, Athens. I don't know if you know about the place.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course.
yes. So before like moving to Miami, I was like wanted to go to Ultra like for the first time to visit. So then this record came out, your record, and I'm like, wow, what is this? And then it was the time with the big room thing, and then I came to Miami and I was like blown away. And then I decided to move and, you know, continue with the music thing. And that's it. That's the story, you know.
Wow, that's such a cool story. Thank you for sharing that
Yeah,
with
yeah,
me.
yeah. So when I saw, you know, the that you put in this out, you know, with the vocal and guys, okay,
Mhm.
go do your thing, and you know, let's do a collaboration. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Because I was
yeah,
always, you know, remembering, you know, you and you know what you did and all these songs, and I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. Like nobody does that.
yeah. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm really
Yeah.
excited. You know, I'm working on like a remix. I don't want to call it a remix, but it's just like a newer version of Never Say Goodbye for my shows.
Wow.
It's so hard. Like
It is.
it's so hard to remix that song
Yeah.
because when you have an original that's like that, it's like,
You,
man, you really got to come special if you're gonna
you
try
know,
to remix it.
you know what I think? I think that in this song, you just need to do what you said. Like bring the piano on the stage, put the
Mhm.
microphone, and you just sing it and play the chords, and that's
That's
it.
a great idea,
That
actually.
that that will melt everybody's heart, and that's
That's
it.
a
You
great
don't need to
idea.
remix it. Yeah, you don't need to do anything because it's already perfect. You know, you just
Mhm.
need to sing it like you did the Final Destiny, and you made the video. We were playing the piano and singing. That's what you
Yeah, I love that. Well, when I can afford to put a grand piano on stage,
need.
I'll do that. I'm gonna get there. You
Yeah,
know, DJing is a much cheaper way to tour.
right.
So, you know, so in the meantime, I'm gonna deliver a hard-hitting, fucking groovy It's gonna be dope. Like I'm not worried about it. It's gonna be sick. But when I do get that more performance-driven show, which is really my goal, you know, like I love to perform. I love to sing live. I love to do anything live, play keys live, play drums live, anything, you know, that makes your body get into the music.
Did you see John Newman performing at Tomorrowland?
No.
Actually, it's the guy who's saying that I need to
Oh,
know.
I know who he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he's a DJ now. So what he's doing is he's playing his records, but he's singing live as the record plays.
Well, that's
And
what I've been doing for years.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like,
Years.
okay, you know, because the guy was just, you know, a singer, and then he's a DJ now, like Matthew Coma, like different people, you know, doing the same thing.
Yeah. When I first started doing that, no singers were doing that. Now all the singers are
Right,
doing
right.
that.
Craig David, everybody. Yeah,
You know, so you got to do something. I got to do something new now.
yeah,
You know, I always think about what makes me unique,
right.
you know, as an artist, what makes
That
us
that's
unique.
the secret.
Yeah,
That's what makes you stand out.
yeah. And does anybody else have a question?
I've got a question.
Talk to me.
When you started pursuing your career, um, I was a little bit, what's the word? Like trying to figure out who Bright Lights looked like.
Hmm.
And when you did your career, did you always wanted to hide your appearance?
No, no, not at all. That is a part of being a vocalist in the dance world. Vocalists don't have a lot of visibility in the dance world. They're slowly getting more, but it's nothing close to the visibility of what a DJ producer has. Um, so I'll just share with you this. in the last 2 or 3 years that I've been releasing my own productions, in the last 5 or 6 years that I've been DJing, my visibility has skyrocketed. You know, I don't know why. I don't I don't know why vocalists aren't more celebrated. I really don't.
Do you listen to Pink Panthers?
Yeah, but she's not a traditional dance singer, is she?
She's a singer, but um, when I listened to her music, most people didn't know who she looked like until I saw her music video Just for Me.
It's interesting you say that because I love her music and I don't know what she looks like.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
we do now since we saw Just for Me. And then in 2013, I was just like shocked to discover your physical appearance on the music video of Ghosts by Benny Benassi and Pink is Punk,
Mm-hmm.
which is my favorite track from you.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I just like,
Always
oh my
interesting to
goodness.
see who's what's someone's favorite track, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I
yeah,
think, it's an interesting conversation. It's honestly a podcast conversation is what it is.
oh yeah,
About that disconnect between um uh, I'll just say like the vocalist experience in dance is very specific and it's very unique, and vocalists are very close. Vocalists in the dance world, we talk to each other and we all share different things that we've been through, that we go through. The music business is hard enough for anybody, but vocalists in the dance world, and if we want to go even a step further, songwriters and engineers, like there's certain sects of people that, you know, have a harder time than
yeah,
others, navigating through the business, getting the respect that they deserve, getting the pay that they deserve. There's like there's certain sects that just, it's also like what's a hot topic now is Black women in Hollywood and the discrepancy of that pay for that sect of people, so I'm just saying all this to say that, like, when you're dealing with vocalists, we go through a lot, a lot. People like to use us. They use us up for our records, and then
that's wrong.
we make their career, and then they move along. It's a very, very common story. And so what I will say is that if you're a producer who treats vocalists with an immense amount of respect and care and courtesy, before you send the record out, you send it to the vocalist first and say, hey, what do you think about this? Little things like that. Hey, I wanted to talk about the business. How do you feel about 50-50 splits? How do you feel about, and like I was saying this last week, if you want to get a great songwriters are the hardest to come by, like truly great, truly special songwriting, because most songwriters won't write anymore because we just don't get paid enough. You don't get paid enough. So if you're a producer and you want to get a big songwriter or a really, really great songwriter on your track, offer them master. Offer them equal share of the master. There's like ways to show that you respect and appreciate, what somebody brings to the table. And if I can, shed some light on what that experience is like, and then I'm happy to do it. But I will say that since I've been producing, DJing too, but producing more, now that I can finish records on my own and I release on my own, that's helped me more than anything I've ever done. in terms of like visibility and the momentum that I have right now. It's helped my momentum immensely.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, yeah, it is. And when I started pursuing it, I did it for the love, you know. But I had a feeling. I was like, I love producing. Like, let me just try to like for real be a producer, like for real, like finish the records and, really be there for the entire process. Like, I see my records through from the very first note to the last final master, you
And not
know?
let people, not let people control you, not let people tell you what to do this, do that, do it your way.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, collaboration is a very careful thing. It's a dance. It's a beautiful dance between two people who really respect each other and respect what the other person brings to the table, you know? And when it's done right and all parties are happy and the record does really well, there's no better feeling in the world than that. It's a bond that you'll have forever, especially when the records are successful. Yeah.
fantastic.
Are there any other questions?
Hey, hey, hi everyone. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
hey Juan, how are
Hey,
you? Where are you
all good.
coming in from?
Mexico City.
Mm,
Well, first, thanks for the opportunity. Everyone, I think it's a big chance for everyone. And well, uh, first, a short story. Do you remember Phil Swan? He worked with you in Follow You Down in Clarity.
what's his name?
Phil Swan.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that I've been working with him in K-pop stuff, last year. And
Okay.
the funny thing is that when he uploaded the image of Clarity, I think the platinum, for me was like, it all started with a message of you in Facebook, like 10 years ago. And for me, it was like, okay, now I'm working with someone that knows, that knows you, and
Yeah.
this chance of making this remix with you, it's like a game changer, I think, for a lot of us. But well,
Mhm.
my question is, if we have the chance to get, for example, the remixes, if we do the version and we find a sync opportunity, are you open to the sync opportunity of a specific version of the remix?
I'm always open to money in the bank.
Okay. Yeah, because I have the chance to send that, because I work with a publisher in the UK, and they are like working now in sync opportunities and stuff and all of that, and I
Mhm.
know that if I send the remix and I told them like everything, they are going to be interested in, putting the song like in, I mean, not in a playlist, no, or not in the release, but like trying to get
I know
the
what you're
song.
saying. I know what you're saying. I'm not opposed to that. I would need to approve it.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
But
totally.
but but if I love the record and the placement makes sense, then yeah, why not?
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Why not? It's amazing to be able to do syncs. Sync income accounts for 1% of all, music revenues. 1%. That's crazy. And it still generates a lot of money for artists and people. But yeah, for those who don't know, you guys probably all know this, but sync is like film and TV, whenever your music is placed in film, TV. Yeah, a lot of times you'll get upfront fees, and then sometimes you get royalties depending on what the deal is. Any other questions? Any other questions?
I don't have any question, but I just wanted to say this is a really cool opportunity. I wasn't expecting it to be so intimate, and I really loved a lot of the things I heard that you said. I was like that you were willing to get some submissions that weren't fully complete, or maybe even offer some feedback. So I'm
Mhm.
really excited to do this. So I just wanted to say thanks, and it's really cool that it's completely different than some of the other remix competitions, or not this is a remix per se, but that like other similar types of things. It's completely different, so it's really cool, and I'm pretty excited to
Um,
try it.
also, just so you guys know, if you have records that you want to send to me as promo, like you have your own records that you want DJs to play, if you upload them to that same thing, I mean, don't send me a million songs, but like if you have one song that you're like, hey, this actually might fit for one of your sets, just you can upload it to that same spot on the site and I'll take a listen to it. And if I love it, I'll add it to my sets.
That's so cool. So
Yeah, but
thanks.
thank you, Extra.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been
Yeah.
fun.
Hey Heather, it's David.
Oh,
I
Trevor, what's
I
poppin'?
I'm so sick right now. I
Oh,
literally
no way.
I went a little too crazy on New Year's. Yeah, yeah, just celebrate.
I'm fucking dying, dude.
Ugh.
Oh my God. Y'all, Trevor is part of the fam. He is
Yeah,
I don't think of all my shows in LA, you have been to every single show.
every single one. It's
Trevor is
always a memory.
fam. Yeah,
It's
and it's
like,
always a blast.
oh, it is like if you guys
Well,
are in LA, you have to see her. Like the energy, the selection, it's just such a vibe.
oh,
It's
thank
such
you.
a vibe. I
You're
love it.
too
I
kind. I'm so
absolutely love.
sorry that you're not feeling well.
Yeah, yeah. I literally woke up like an hour ago and I'm like, oh crap. I saw all the things on your post. I'm like, I gotta get going. I don't care.
Oh, okay. It's all good. I was
Yeah.
worried, honestly, I was worried that there were gonna be like 100 people in here and
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do. So I'm actually like grateful that it's 13 people here, not a million.
Oh, that's so good. That's so
Yeah.
good. But I think everybody on here is just so excited for this. I just want to say that this is such a great opportunity. I can't, I it would, I can't even
You
talk.
sound crazy.
I it feels like I have a vibrato on right now,
Oh my God.
or vocoder.
Oh yeah, vocoder. That's so
Oh,
funny.
yeah,
Um,
but I do have a question though. Is on for let's say that let's say one of the producers did create one of them on, but it just wasn't selected. But
mhm,
it's like a different genre. Let's say one just converted into like a hard techno song. Is
mhm.
it allowed to be played at their shows, but just not distributed on SoundCloud or anything like
That's a
that?
great question. That's a great question. Let me think about that for a second. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, why
Okay.
not? Why not?
Okay.
Because like we can make edits
Yeah.
anytime, anything.
Yeah.
You could put out a record tomorrow and we can get the acapella so easy now, even from a 2-track.
Very true.
Yeah, so like just consider it a show edit.
Okay. Very,
Yeah.
very good.
But I that brings me to another point actually that I wanted to talk about and I forgot. So thank you for that question,
Of
Trevor.
course.
Um, there are really no losses in this contest at all. There's only wins because even if your record is not selected, it's probably still a great track, you know? So you take the top line off of it, maybe you send it to another singer, maybe you send it to another writer, or maybe I love the track and I feel like it just doesn't fit for that top line, but the track is fire. Then I hit you up and I say, yo, this track is fire. It's not the right fit for the top line, but let me write something else on this because this is dope you know so yeah, you're free to, if your track is not selected by me personally, you're free to do whatever you want with your track. I have no rights to any of that at all, like, so we're clear. You can take your track back, you can send it out to another vocalist, you can find a vocal on Splice and drop it in and release it you know So, like I said, there are only good things that come out of this. And I'm really excited to hear hear what you guys cook up. Yeah.
It is gonna be so good.
I know. I can't wait. Feel better, Trevor.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, honey. Okay. I'll take one more question if there's one more, but otherwise, we can wrap this up.
I got a question, Heather.
Okay. Yeah.
What was it like when you went on to like all these big festivals? What was it like? What was your reaction? How did it feel being on a main stage like Ultra Music Festival and EDC?
It's no feeling like it in the world. It's unparalleled. It's another kind of high. Yeah, you will never be as high as you are in those situations. There's not a drug in the world. It's the highest you will ever feel playing, standing on stage in front of 80,000 people. It's everything. It's everything that you would imagine that it is.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Well, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I'm actually gonna start working on some music right now. But like I said, if you guys have questions or you just want to, let me hear like a rough snippet of something, you're more than welcome to DM me. I would prefer to hear the ideas though, if you want me to hear something, if you upload it. That'll be much easier. It's just an easier process for me. And you can upload as many things as you want during this process. So thank you guys.
Really quick question. I don't know if I missed it or not. Is that upload in that text message?
It is, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So the way I set it up, it's all in the same link. So the download is at the top. I think this Zoom session link was right below it, and then right below that, the SoundCloud, right below the SoundCloud acapella is the upload, and it says like upload your demo.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And when you upload, is there any way to write like a message or anything?
Yeah.
Say like this is cool. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. You can I believe I've used it before and it asked me to leave a message, but I haven't tested it yet. I should test it actually.
Okay, because yeah, you mentioned like maybe sending tracks if it was something else that might fit in your sets or something. So if I did or something, I would like to leave a message saying this isn't for this. This would be something else.
Extra.
So
Do you want to test it with me after we get off of here?
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah, so send me a track through there, and then we'll get on DM on Instagram, and I'll let you know when I receive it, and I'll show you like what it looked like, whatever you type or whatever. But let's just test it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
test
it.
Sounds good.
It's all good. This is the first time I'm using this platform, TrackStack. But it looks pretty cool. I'm excited about it. It's very easy to use. Yeah. All right. Well, sayonara for now. It was so nice to meet all of you. Yeah, I'll be around on DMs. I can't wait to hear what you cook up. Again, the deadline is January 31st, and I'm gonna announce on my birthday. We just decided that February 2nd. That's when I'll announce the winners. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank
one
you.
more thing I want to mention. We have a private chat on DM and Instagram. It's the Bright Lights family chat. If any of you guys want to hop in on that chat, just send me a message and I'll add you today or tomorrow. Or just send me a message and let me know you want to be a part of that group. But we have a lot of fun on there. Yeah, we talk about a bunch of cool stuff. So, and that group hears all my music first. So, yeah, they hear it before it comes out. All right, guys. Much love.
Big love to you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.